What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. It's Medical Mass. We're back and Happy New Year. It's a beautiful year. We're inviting the good energy, the good vibes, the good everything in between. So welcome. If you're new to this channel, this is a medical and a lifestyle channel. I don't think I've ever put anything lifestyle on this channel. However, as you can see, I'm at the hospital, so I got a little bit of downtime, so I was like, okay, you know what, let me just do this Q&A and get it over and done with for the year. So I did ask a couple of people on my Instagram to ask me questions. Anyways, let's get into the video. So don't mind the net, I have to wear the net, I can't remove it. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. This way. That way? This way. Alrighty. So, the first question, I had to write them down. So, they're going to be going in a sequence. Don't be like, so people were asking you this way? No, I had to sit down and put them in a sequence. So, my full name, as you know, on this channel is Medical Maz, and everywhere if you go on my Instagram is Maz Ellen. However, my full name is Majita Ellen Sigauke, which is basically thank you Lord in my native language, which is Shona, and I'm from Zimbabwe, originally from Zimbabwe. I think that's a little bit of the background. So I did medicine in China. I think if you watch the first video I posted on this channel, you'll realize that I did medicine in China. Dr. M.E. Sigauke. Graduated in 2020, and yeah. Guys, to be honest, China was very good to me. It allowed me to grow as a person. It allowed me to be independent. It allowed me to showcase my talents. It allowed me to be the best version of myself, learn to navigate life on my own terms, to come into terms with the woman I was becoming and the things that were in front of me through my medical journey. I wish I had documented a lot before, but I just knew that I always wanted to open a channel whilst or after I had graduated. So those are some of the things I wish I had documented more, but other than that, China was really good to me. Studying medicine in China can often look like a scam. And I mean this in the most nicest way. What I mean is most of the times, people are trapped in situations they don't know about. For example, you can get tied to a hospital or a university, sorry, not a hospital, a university that's not even recognized by the World Medical Dictionary. So you need to be very careful about that. You also need to know who to trust, because sometimes people just offer you these scholarships, and then when you get to China, the scholarships are not even available. So often do things when you know someone who's already there and who can guide you and lead you, and you already go to maybe to a school that you know someone has graduated from, and they're actually doing something after medical school, like they are now a practicing doctor. So make sure you go into depth with that. However, I do not recommend for you to study in China if you are not motivated to do things by yourself, because often in time you will be doing the things by yourself. You'll be working hard by yourself, and you can't get help most of the time, to be honest. The professors, most of them will tell you if you understand Chinese, they'll be so welcoming to teach you more. But if you're mainly just focusing on the English aspect of the degree, you have more problems with getting full attention from your professors. So it's very important. Another thing about studying in China is the transitioning from China to come back to Africa or to go wherever else you want to go into the world. It's a very difficult and long route. It's very costly, so you have to put those things into mind, and you have to know that before going and achieving those things. If you just want to go straight into practicing without writing any board exams for a specific country, just study in the country that you want to practice. I think that's the best advice I can give someone. If you want to practice in Zimbabwe, stay in Zimbabwe. If you want to practice in South Africa, stay in South Africa. However, I do understand that there's some criteria that you need for you to do medicine in certain countries. So, but however, if you decide to go to study in China, make sure you do know of all those things that are to come after. And also, if you go to Europe somehow is a bit nicer in the sense that you can transition easily into the United Kingdom. I know people that studied in Netherlands or some other European countries that just were, it was easy for them to just transition to work in Ireland or to work in UK itself. So yeah, that could be another option you can look into. Now, here's my humble opinion. Again, I think that doing internship in a public hospital is better in the sense that you have more room to know a lot of things, to deal with situations when things are not available, because resources are never available in public sectors. So at least it will help you navigate the situations where you get patients and you don't have certain things too. You can find alternatives. It's very it's a very gruesome experience. However, it helps you become very creative. However, the only con is ethics. Ethics is thrown out the window in public hospitals. So it might be difficult for you to transition into working in a private sector, or having to go to places like UK or America or Australia. So it's very, very important that you get some sort of feel of both. However, to do internship, do it in a public hospital. You have more departments, you have more specialists, you have more room to learn from all these people before you make the final decision if you want to work in a public hospital or a private hospital. Guys, before I answer this question, I just want to everybody who's watching this, who's not a medical doctor or a medical personnel, to know that mistakes are very common, and just because we're doctors, it does not mean that we're God or next to God. These things do happen, and sometimes I feel like doctors are not given grace. We are often looked at as we must know, as long as the minute you walk into the hospital, I must know what's wrong with you and I must treat it and you must go back to your house. It doesn't work like that. There's a process. There are protocols that we go through. When you come into the hospital, of course, we're going to make our provisional diagnosis. We're going to go through our provisional diagnosis and then have differentials. Then we're going to do investigations to rule out what's going on. It's like a process. When you come in, we'll then maybe find out some things that are wrong with you later on. It's not like you just get into the hospital like, this one has, he has kidney failure, Shem. No, it doesn't happen like that. We just don't make it. It's a process, and that's why we have that. Why you guys have to go through investigations, why you have to go through blood tests and all that. It's for us to have the final diagnosis of whatever is going on with your body. So yeah, it's very common to misdiagnose patients also, but you will recover because there are certain things that are put in place. Sorry, that was a relative. I had to go and fill out some papers, but I'm back. So I was answering on misdiagnosing. So misdiagnosing is very common, and I feel like doctors should be given grace. Of course, it's not like you should misdiagnose all the time and then be like, give me grace. No, it's just like when those mishaps happen, should be given grace, I feel like, in my humble opinion. To be honest, I'm gonna answer this question with like, not all the way there, because in Zimbabwe I only practiced as a pre-intern, which is basically before you graduate and you are now a medical doctor. So to be honest, I don't have like an experience as a medical professional, like after internship, how it is. However, I'm only answering this question based off the experience as a pre-intern and also what I saw the junior doctors going through. I think that's the best way I can answer this question. I think that in Zimbabwe, Africa is Africa, let's just start there. So many things are similar, very, very similar. However, maybe I can say the diseases that are common at home are not as common here, and the ones that are common here are not as common at home. So that's something that you get to really realize straight up. No, of course I've had this dream of wanting to be in anesthesia, right? However, the more I did, the more time I was doing internship, or the period I was doing internship, I loved almost everything. Maybe what I can tell you is I know for sure what I don't want to do. I can't say specifically what I would like to do, and what I know I don't want to do is orthopedics. I did not have a connection with it that much. Of course I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, oh, I wanted to go back. ENT, didn't want to go back. It just was so boring for me. I just didn't want to go back. Maybe psychiatry also was just like too boring for me. I just cannot sit the whole day. I want things that are, you know, it's just I have too much energy, and I don't think I can sit all day and just be like namaste. No, I need to be in there. So that's probably why I enjoyed most of the departments, because they typically like that. I think it's very difficult to specialize here because I think you specialize at Muhimbili, and I heard that getting into residency is very difficult at Muhimbili. So yeah, there's that. There's that. So I don't really know the full details, but I'll try and find out more about it, and then I'll probably make a video, or I'll probably just share it with the person who asked. Listen, I think when you're now a general practitioner, this is just my 2 cents. Don't limit yourself to just a private or public hospital. Make money. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm being for real. Do everything. You know, being a general practitioner, you still have a specialist that's still above you. So use that time to really get to learn everything. If you need to do locum positions, do locum positions, you know? Sorry for the interruptions. I keep getting interrupted because, like, you know, it's just the way of life, but we're gonna move. So it's pretty simple to come to do internship in Tanzania. Well, it was simpler before because you didn't need to write an exam after graduating. So that's why you would see a lot of people, sorry, my camera's sliding. That's why you would see a lot of people from like China coming to do internship in Tanzania, because it was easier to transition, or it's still easier to transition into, to be honest. First thing you need to do is go through, you go to the Medical Council of Tanganyika. They will tell you how to go through the process. You apply, then there's this Tanzanian commission or something. It's called TCU. I forgot the proper name for it, but you have to get a green certificate from them. They have to go through your certificates and stuff like that. And I think it was it for free? I don't know if it was for free, but no, it's not for free. It's not for free. You pay, I think, $50. I think you pay $50 or $30, somewhere there. Then when you go through that, you go to the medical council. From the medical council, you sit in for an examination. So they'll give you a date. Usually here, there are only 2 sittings for the exam. There's a March exam, and then there's a December exam. Sorry, November, not December. The November exam. So as for me, I sat for the November exam, the pre-internship. So I did that. After you pass, you select a hospital. They put in a bunch of hospitals for you. You select, then you go and pay your $105 US to the Medical Council of Tanganyika. Then when you pay that, you move on, you go, you start your internship, you have your provisional registration, you do your internship for 1 year. After your 1 year passes and you have no repeated departments, you've done your CMEs, you can proceed to write your post-internship exam. You write your post-internship exam, and then from that, you pass, you have your full registration, you become a general practitioner. That's pretty much the journey. Here, internship is for 1 year and be fully registered. Guys, when I tell you this is something I always say in my life. Wherever I go, I always pray that there's peace, harmony, and just togetherness. And I feel like God has been really nice to me in that sense, because coming from China where there's no violence, it's just literally you can move around and be yourself and not be scared. I lived through that for 5 years, and I came to Zanzibar. It's the same thing. It's just you are literally, the people are just so loving, welcoming, stuff like that. And it's just, I love places like that, and I always pray that I get to go to places like that. I don't have to deal with things that are, like xenophobia and stuff like that. Not me. So living here is really good. Guys, if I tell you my story, I think I'll have to make a video on how I came here. But I don't think I chose Zanzibar. I feel like Zanzibar chose me. And I will explain that further in maybe a video that I make on how I came here and how the whole process went out. But I do believe that Zanzibar chose me. I did not choose it. It chose me. And man, when things choose you, yes. So I'm forever grateful. And so yeah, I really want, actually when I did internship, when I was applying, I wanted to do internship in Dar, but I couldn't get the hospital I wanted, so I ended up coming here, and it was the best decision life has ever chosen for me. So I'm forever grateful. And so yeah, so grateful. Can't stop smiling. I'm kidding. Yeah, that's about it. I hate to disappoint people that think I got it together. I don't have a morning routine. I don't have a routine at all. Like I said, I just put this whole thing of leaving routines out of my life and just experiencing life as it comes to me. And I feel like it's the best decision I've ever chosen in my life. Like, it's just, I've ever made. Like I said previously, I have cut out routines out of my life. I feel like ever since 2019, I said I'm going to experience life to the fullest, and I'm going to live life to the fullest. I'm going to accept what comes towards me. I'm going to just go full throttle with it. I'm not going to make routines. It's just me, so I don't have a routine. Whatever time I wake up, if I've got things to do, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. If I don't have things to do, I'll wake up at 7:30. If I've got nothing to do, I want to sleep in, I'll sleep in. I've just accepted that I need to allow my body to just, and my mind, to just live in the moment and do things according to what's happening on that day. Because you could have a day where you're really tired, but then you set yourself these goals that you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. No. There are days I will wake up at 5 a.m. and there are days I'll wake up at 7:30, and that's just the reality of life. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say, oh, I'm waking up at 3 a.m. No, I'm not. I'm not. If I do have a routine maybe to study or to do things early, it's usually 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. As long as I've done it for the day, that's the life I'm living. And I'm loving it. I hate to say, but I'm loving this routineless life. What do you think? Do I look like a person who's in a relationship, or do I look like I'm single? Which one is it? Y'all comment down below. Just look at me. Am I someone's girlfriend, wife, fiance, or am I just out in the streets? I'm kidding, guys, but you can tell me what you think. Yep. With that being said, first of all, I'm so sorry. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. It's one of my least favorite shows, so I don't even know the characters there. One thing I will say though is I actually made a video on how these TV or medical shows relate to the hospital setting. So I watched like an episode 1 or 2, and I just did not like it, and I was like, yeah, there's no way my life is like that. I was just comparing to like 1 or 2 episodes I watched, and there's nothing like that. There's nobody that's running in corners and kissing frogs. Nobody's doing that. So yeah, I will expand more on that video. Be on the lookout for that video. I'll post it soon. It's just that it's a lot of editing that I have to go through. But yeah, no, my life does not compare to anybody on Grey's Anatomy. I'm sorry. I'm one of those doctors that are just in the hospital, do my work. When it's done, I'm out. I just go home, come back, do the same routine. I'm just an introvert in nature. Like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But yeah. To be honest, I'm just kind of like I used to be such a planner in my life until I was like, you know what? I'm going to just let everything play out. Of course, if like I need to write an exam, I need to study. I'm not gonna be like, yo, just let it play out. No. But however, like, I'm letting opportunities come to me, cause that's what you do. I'm letting opportunities come to me because that's what you do. Just allowing God to put them on you and you just accept and you keep it moving. I think planning sometimes is very, 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 very taxing, especially for me, because I grew up a planner and I was always a planner, so sometimes it gets really taxing when things don't work out. Of course, I never really dwell on it for more than like 10 minutes or so. However, I just am now in a different space, in a different light, and for 2023 hopefully I will be more consistent on this channel and give you guys new things, new energy and everything. And so that's what we're gonna be doing. Until next time, y'all, I love that you've gotten to this part of the video. If you're at the end, thank you very much. Until next time, bye.